welcome. We are here for study time with Peggy. It is almost 9 a.m. here on the East Coast. And just wanted to say hello and get on early, make sure the connection's working perfectly and you guys can hear me okay. And what we're going to be doing together for the next little while is just for about 30 minutes, we've come together. And as I've been doing on a regular basis, is I've been addressing any questions. Hello, I am 3DNN. Good morning, Celine. Good to see you here. Mindshift Consulting, happy to see you here as well. John's here, Dora's here. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Dora. Of course, I'm in Canada. We're not celebrating. Hey, Lisa's here. Good morning, Lisa. Happy Thanksgiving to you. We're not celebrating Thanksgiving here in Canada, but for all of our American friends, of course, we wish them a wonderful Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Carlin, good to see you as well. It's nice to see so many people. Jane's on as well. Awesome. Giselle, this is great. It's good to see you here. It's like celebrating with the family. Hello, Samantha. Nice to see you as well. So what we're going to be doing in the next 30 minutes that we're here together is we'll do some study time. And a couple questions have been submitted in advance, and we're going to get to those questions first. They're great questions, and even if you don't have a question, stick around because you can benefit from the answers to the questions that have been asked. One of the questions that have asked is a phenomenal question. Veronica sent it in. I'm going to be sure to address that one first, but I wanted to introduce you to someone who's with me here. And she's a new member of our team, a new member of the family, and we're just really getting to know each other. And her name is Gratitude. So this is Gratitude, and she's got a new necklace, and it has her name spelled. She's got 2 T's in her name, Gratitude. And I think we look alike. We should probably get some glasses for her, maybe, and see if there we go. Can you see better now, Gratitude? Yeah, I think so. Right? Yeah. All right. So, the reason why I wanted to introduce you to Gratitude today is that she was a gift brought into my life, and I'm going to be getting to know her and work with her. And I was thinking about introducing her to you today because we're doing study time. And I wanted to let you know something that I'm studying, that I've decided to invest the time into studying. And so it's a book called How to Become a Ventriloquist. So we'll see how Peg does. You'll be seeing more of Gratitude. I love her. She's so precious to me. You'll be seeing more of Gratitude. She'll be helping me study with this. And I just wanted to share her with you just for a moment. Greta, I need my glasses back if you don't mind. She's going to go over here, and Greta's going to watch us as we're going to invest this time together. And you'll be seeing more of her a little bit later. She's got a number of ideas, and she'll be entering into the spirit of it. So good morning, Shelley. Good to see you here as well. And happy Thanksgiving. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. Bumju's here. Nice to see you here. Welcome, Bumju. Cherie is here. Hey, Cherie. Good to see you as well. Ariel, what are you doing up so early? It's only 6 a.m. there on the West Coast. Beate's here. Welcome, Beate. Good to see you here. All right, so the next thing that we're going to be doing is I'm going to address a couple questions that have been submitted in advance. And then I'm going to come back over here because I know there's a couple questions that have already been asked on social media. So I'll make sure that I address those as well. All right, so the first question that was asked is a question from Michelle. And Michelle, we really appreciate you. Thank you for being a regular on the live events that we've been doing. And this is a fun question. And I want to ask you guys this question as well. I know Ariel's on the phone here or on the call right now as well with us. She has released a number of wonderful books. Ariel Ford, I suggest that you check them all out. And she manifested her soulmate, and that is actually one of her books that she has released. So Michelle is asking the question. She says, what was one of the most exciting manifestations? The most exciting manifestations. So we're going to go with that question. Great question. Thank you, Emmanuel. I appreciate you. So what was one of the most exciting manifestations? When I saw the question that had been submitted, and I was thinking about the answer to that question, I would say the most exciting manifestations, 3 actually come to mind instantly. Boom, 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 3. came to mind. And one of the exciting manifestations is this spectacular home that we live in right now, which is just over 9,000 square feet. It has 7 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. It's on a private golf course. It's a beautiful place. And it was a manifestation that I just manifested recently. So I thought I'd share that with you because we moved in here April of this year. And the reason why I mention that is, you know, a lot of people really believe that once you learn how to manifest, and you learn how to manifest easily, and you learn the techniques for manifestation, that fear will be removed from your life. And I want to share with you that it won't. And the reason is that we are all invited and perhaps even inspired to express ourselves in even greater ways. Hey, Michelle, I see you're here now. I see you just joined. I'm addressing your question right now. And so every time that you manifest something in your life, and when you're in the process of the manifestation, fear is not an uncommon experience or emotion that you will receive. And it depends on what you're manifesting. It's not that fear has to be in every single manifestation, but I found that when I've really stretched myself to pursue a goal, especially a financial goal, to purchase something like this home, which was twice the price of our previous home, that it gives you that opportunity to really bring out a greater and a grander version of yourself. And it almost invites you to become more than you've been in the past. And that's one of the things that I love about it. And so when we did make the purchase of this home, and I realized that it was going to be another opportunity for growth, I felt the fear, but recognized that it was there, and also recognized that when we're pursuing our goals and we stretch ourselves and we set a goal that we know is something we've never done before, we have no idea how we're going to do it, but yet we're excited and it's a goal that we love, that when the fear is there, to recognize that it's telling you something, it's revealing something within you. And what it's revealing is a lack of alignment with the goal. And so you can bless that and give thanks for it, and then realize that the process of manifesting any goal, whatever it is, whether it's a dream home, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a financial goal that you're working toward, whether it's a physical goal, that the process involves making a decision on what it is that you would love, and then becoming connected to the outcome and feeling the gratitude as if it's already here right now. And of course, today is Thanksgiving in the United States, and it's a day to give thanks, but it's not the only day that we give thanks, of course. And I know it's a wonderful holiday. I know many people love this holiday. It's their favorite holiday because it does include that word thanks and giving thanks. But that is part of the process of manifestation, is to give thanks, like to genuinely feel that gratitude for the manifestation as if it's already here right now. And that's what I began to do when my husband and I signed the legal documents to purchase this home. And even though, again, it was a stretch goal and a wonderful opportunity to growth, I recognized that when the fear was there, that I was out of alignment. And so my responsibility is to put myself back in alignment, and that involves feeling as if it's already done. So I did that. And then what happens when you do that is everything just flows so much easier. So that's one of the greatest manifestations that I've ever manifested, but there's so many more. And one of the other ones that came to mind when Michelle had asked the question is that I also thought about my husband, Denis, and actually Ariel Ford, who joined us on this call, who created that book, Manifest Your Soulmate. Actually, I'm getting the name wrong. I want to get this name absolutely perfect. So hold on a second here. I'm just going to go over to Amazon. And I want to find Ariel's book because she's got a number of different books, as I mentioned. And one of them is a book, it's called The Soulmate Secret. But she wrote a book called Wabi Sabi Love. And The Soulmate Secret is the one, Manifest the Love of Your Life with the Law of Attraction, is the book that Ariel wrote. So if any of you are looking to manifest your love of your life using the law of attraction, definitely get a copy of The Soulmate Secret. She also wrote a phenomenal book called Turn Your Mate into Your Soulmate, a practical guide to living happily ever after. But she wrote a book called Wabi Sabi Love, the ancient art of finding perfect love in imperfect relationships. And I love that. Oh, Celine says she's read Wabi Sabi Love. Yeah, there's a little story in Wabi Sabi Love about Denny and I. So to answer your question, Michelle, one of the wonderful manifestations that I've manifested in my life is my husband, is my soulmate relationship with my husband. And there is a story in Ariel's book where I talk about how we met. And Denny and I are very different beings. We're very, very different. And Denny is a very left brain kind of thinker and very analytical, has great logic. And I'm a very right brain and emotional and sometimes illogical thinker and actor. But yet, I had been single for a number of years, a single mom, and enjoying lots of quality time with my son, Michelle. And I reached a point in my life where I realized it was time. It was time to manifest an ideal love relationship in my life. So I had made a decision that I would manifest that relationship in my life and began to connect to, as Ariel teaches in her book, The Soulmate Secret. I began to feel as if I was already in that relationship or in a relationship, a loving, lasting, respectful, enjoyable relationship. And I manifested Denny into my life, and I met him 2 weeks after I had made that decision. So it was one of my most wonderful manifestations. And Michelle, I know you asked what was one of my most greatest manifestations. My third one, the third one that I want to speak to is a cottage that my husband and I bought a number of years ago. And again, I had a desire, and this desire within me to have waterfront has been there forever. And probably because my grandmother had a cottage in Port Carling, and my father built a cabin, had bought some land as well on the same lake where my grandmother's cottage was. And so as a child, my best memories were from when we were at a cottage. So as an adult, I wanted a cottage, but my husband didn't. And my husband didn't because it's like 2 houses, 2 properties, twice the care, twice the work. And so he was, not really on board with it, but I began to see him loving it and enjoying it and being on board. And within a very short period of time, he did get on board, and we found a place. And Denny felt it was too much money and felt it would be a lot of work. And maybe it was overpriced for sure. And it was definitely going to be a renovation job. But I didn't allow any of the things that would normally prevent people from manifesting their dream to get in my way. So what I did was I visualized. So I went to the property. It was for sale by the owner. And I would go to the property and I would sit in his lounge chair by the water. And I would ask him if he was okay with me doing this. And I would visualize. I would visualize us being there, owning it, sharing it, enjoying it with our family. And within a very short period of time, we bought that place. And it was a wonderful manifestation. And so the great thing about manifesting any goal is that once you manifest any goal, you'll find that it's a repeatable format. It's like a formula, right? Which actually leads me to the next question. And the next question that has been asked is a question. Thank you, Colin. I really appreciate you. You're so kind. And thank you, Michelle. Really appreciate your kind words. Thank you. All right, the next question that was submitted is a question from Veronica. And it was great to see your question here, Veronica. Thank you so much. And here's what Veronica is saying. Hopefully see my last child in college and preparing for retirement. I will be 59. Any suggestions? I love that. All right, well, Veronica, 59 years young. That's a great age. You've got a wonderful celebration coming up on your next birthday. I'm 60, just turned 60 last year. And it's just such a blessing to be alive. I mean, it really is a blessing to be alive. So what are the suggestions? Great question. My suggestion is to really invest some time. Just get quiet. You can do this in the evening, do it on the weekend, and just sit down and think, what would you love? And really dream big. Grab a pen, a piece of paper, and just sit down and think, what would I absolutely love to have in my life? And do not allow any limitations to get in your way. None. All right. So you can think about how would you love to be living? Where would you love to be living? The kind of home that you would love to own, multiple homes if that's something that you have a desire, gifts that you want to give to your family and share with your friends. And I know Veronica has a beautiful family that I love and appreciate. And I know how generous your family is. So I suspect that part of what you would love is to be sharing and contributing perhaps to your family. And so really think about it. What is it that you would love? And don't allow any limitations to get in the way. Then the next thing is to sit down and determine, what do I need to believe in order to have that? You see, our beliefs are playing a role in everything that's showing up in our life. And I know today, the kind of lifestyle that I live, I'm so blessed. I give thanks for it every single day. I just thank God to live this incredible life. I recognize that the way that I get to live my life is something completely contrary to the way I lived my life before. And so all of it is because of what I'm teaching and sharing with you right here, right now. So process, determine what it is that you would love. And everybody do this, not just Veronica. Veronica asked the question. Thank you, Veronica, for asking the question. But the answer is, one, you become very clear on what you would love. The next part of that process is to really sit down and think, what do I need to believe in order to have that or live that way? So what would you need to believe? Well, you need to believe that you are worthy of it. You need to believe that it's possible. You need to believe that it's already done. And you just sit down and really think about what is it that you really need to believe in order to have this in your life. And you write out that belief statements. You write out those belief statements. And then what you do is you create something called a Power Life Script. Now, Celine's on our call with us here this morning. Celine, I'm going to ask you, if you don't mind, put in the link for everyone to get this free book. The free book, it's powerlifescript.com/free book. And so the Power Life Script is a process that I've established, I created back in the 90s. And it's a methodology of really writing out a script of your life the way you want it to be. So you script it. Thank you, Selena, I appreciate you. So you script it, you script your life. So I am so happy and grateful now that I'm living the most amazing life. I'm abundantly wealthy, I'm financially set for life. I'm bringing out the absolute best of who I am to the world. I'm doing work that I deeply love. And you just go on and you describe it. Like one of the things that I say in my Power Life Script is something along the lines of, when I walk by a mirror and I see my reflection, I feel so good about the way I look and the way I feel. And, I've looked the best I've ever looked, or something like that. It doesn't say that, but something along those lines. Anyways, the point is, you got to be living it. You've got to write it in a way that you feel it. It's more important that you feel the emotions of living that life than anything else. You've got to really, really connect to the feeling states. So actually, I mentioned my Power Life Script. I actually re-recorded it this morning. And the reason why I re-recorded it is I've set another goal. And I'm going to be bringing out a product to the world. And it's a product of an idea that I've had for many, many, many years. And it was a number of years ago that I got this idea for the product. And I registered the domain name. It was probably around early 2000s, like 2003, 4, something like that. I registered the domain name. I work with a graphics designer. I designed the product. And I've not done much with it since then. And that's okay. I guess it was timing. I've been pretty busy over the last number of years. And I've just realized this week, it was something that just like clicked. It's time. And so we're working, I've got a team of people that are actually working on bringing this product. And Celine, who's on my team, I'll tell you about it as well next time we chat. We'll have a team meeting on Monday, so I'll share with you what I'm doing with this so that you have a really good idea. And you're going to love it as well. I think it's a really fun idea. So in my Power Life Script, I also include the success of that product. Now, one thing that I do share with folks is you don't have to know how you're going to achieve your goals. You don't have to know how you're going to manifest the things or create the money or the income in your life. You just have to connect to the outcome as if it's already here. And one of my manifestations, since Michelle had asked about my manifestations, occurred many, many years ago when I had a desire to purchase a home, but I had no money. And I recognized the powers of the laws of the universe, which we're all connected to. And when we're in harmony with those laws, the law of cause and effect, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of gestation, and the law of gender, when we really recognize what these laws are and we're in harmony with them, we can manifest anything that we want, and we don't have to know how we're going to do it. So I ended up purchasing a home, And it was a significantly priced home, a beautiful home, and had no idea how I was going to pay for it. But I stayed connected to the outcome and felt as if it was already paid for and owned. And I bought that when my son was 2 years of age, and he's 27 now. And so I ended up manifesting that from primarily from a stock transaction and so it was something that I had never even anticipated for sure. How does one work with you? Oh, Michelle, how does one work with me? Great question. And so I'm going to answer that question next, and then I'm going to come over to Facebook because I know there's some questions there as well. And anyways, the point is that you don't have to know how. I manifested that from an IPO, initial public offering of a company that I was working for at that time, and ended up manifesting a home purchase and lived in that home for 8 years, what some people might call out of thin air. So it's absolutely possible. You've got to believe that. So for Veronica, I'm still answering your question. What I suggest that you do is really sit down, invest the time. What would you love? What do you need to believe to do it? Follow through with the Power Life Script process. Let me know. I mean, we're close. We're relatively close in proximity. Let me know if you have any more questions. I'm happy to help, happy to guide you as well. Okay, so Michelle's asking, how does one work with me? And I suspect what you're asking is privately, like in a private mentoring capacity. If you are asking about private mentoring, I actually stopped that as a service because I'm booked up solid. However, if you're really interested in it, it's not inexpensive, and it's neither expensive. It's neither high or low. It's just thinking makes it so. But if you are serious, Michelle, you can email my support team, support@peggymccall.com. We'll get back to you and we'll let you know when there is a spot available for you to work with me. Also, there's another way that people can work with me, and that is through my programs, because there's a number of programs that I have where I do open Q&A with my clients in a very select environment. And we do this on a regular basis. And that is through 3 of my programs. It's the Complete Author program, it is the Million in a Month program, and it's Pure Magic Monthly. Those 3 programs I do open Q&A. Also my Elite Circle of Influence, which we're just going to open up membership for very soon for 2020. It hasn't been announced yet, but Michelle, if you're on my email list, and if you're not, go to the morningmoneyclass.com or go to my main website, peggymccall.com, and you can sign up and you will get notified when it's there. Okay, so I understand that Celine's okay, so she's having some challenges here. powerlifescript.com free book. I'm pretty sure that's the link for that free book, and I've just typed it in and set it there. Okay, good. All right, now I'm going to come back and, oh, perfect, Michelle, thank you. I'm going to come back to Facebook because I know there's some questions that have been answered. I've got about 8 minutes left to answer them. And it looks like the first question that was asked here is a question from Sharon. Sharon says, when you started out, how did you go about getting the technical skills required to be engaging on social media platforms and market programs? I have a lot to share in the area of art and personal development and will need help with technology. Any advice is appreciated. Oh my God, absolutely, Sharon. Go here to amillioninamonth.com. The program is right there on that page. Get into that program right now. We make it so easy for you. We talk to you about how I got started, how you can get started, what you need to do on your website, what you need to do in social media. All of that is in a program called amillioninamonth.com/now. So I absolutely recommend that you go there, and I go over it in detail. How I got started was simply by starting and taking action and doing the things that I knew would be effective. Learned, what some people might call the hard way. I don't consider it the hard way, trial and error, if you will. But now I've got a really good understanding and experiencing phenomenal success as a result. All right, perfect. Okay, great. All right, the next question is, let's see, let's find this. Jane asks a question. Though you don't have to know how you will do it, how do you set daily, weekly, and monthly activities? Okay, great. What I do is, number one, it's a great question, Jane. Thank you for asking. Number one is I'm very clear on what my goals are. And so having goals is a very important part of the whole process on activities. So start with the end in mind. What would you love? What would you love to create? So set some goals. The next thing that I do is I set like annual goals. Then I'll set monthly goals. Then I set weekly goals. And then I set daily goals. So I'm extremely organized and very productive. And I just saw my doggy go by. Hi, Jojo. Anyways, extremely organized, extremely productive. I wish the door was open so you could see him. He's such a little cutie. He's going to get his hair done, actually. So that's what I do. I think it's pretty simple. Let's not make it any more complicated than what it has to be. I set my goals annually. I set my goals monthly. I set my goals weekly. And I also have an accountability buddy. I have a couple accountability buddies, actually. Ariel Ford is one of them. And so every Sunday, Ariel and I send each other our list of what we will accomplish that week. And not only do we send our new list the following week, but we also will provide an update on what we did accomplish. And so we're accountable. And I know that list that went to Ariel is going to be looked at. She's always supportive. I'm always supportive to her. And then the next week, we check in with each other on what we did accomplish. And it's always done with love and support. Daily, I do a daily check-in on accomplishments as well. And I'll do that with Phil Goldfine. And he's a wonderful friend. We also do an event together called Masters Manifestation. So every day we get together with Anders Hansen, who has become a wonderful friend as well. He was a client first, now a great friend. And so the three of us get on a call at 8 a.m. in the morning, and we declare our goals to each other. And then we talk about what we will do today that's going to move us in the direction of our goals. So those are the things that I do, Jane. Get yourself an accountability buddy. Just, it's easy. This isn't complicated. I find that once you get into the momentum of it and you start to get into the swing of it, hey, Kayla, good to see you here. I'll see you very soon. Kayla and I are heading out soon together. She's on her way. I'm going to be meeting her in a few minutes. That's why I have to wrap up in a matter of minutes. And so that's what I suggest. Do be easy on yourself. Don't make this hard. Don't make it complicated. It's easy to do. But what's required is that you have to invest the time. Thank you, Celine, for posting the mastersmanifesting.com link. And for those of you, join us. I'd love to see you there. It'd be fun to have you there. Okay, Claudia is saying, about 2 months ago, I found out I'm an empath. How can I use this gift to serve others and manifest my goals? Oh, I love that. All right, Claudia. Well, really connect with what you're passionate about. What do you love? So a great idea is to approach that. And this is something I talk about in $1 Million in a Month, by the way, to approach bringing your gift to the world by thinking about sort of like a 3-step process. And I like to put things into processes, right? Make it nice and easy. So first step is think about what is it that people really have a want or a need for in the marketplace. So think about that. The next part of that process, and this is just as important, is think about what do you have? What are you passionate about? What do you love that could be a match for that? And then the third part is to think about, would people pay for that? And, people will pay for, most things, many things. The answer number 3 is usually a yes kind of answer. So think about, what are you really passionate about? And what do you have as a gift, which you've recognized, Claudia? And then what do people really want? What do they need in the marketplace? You also might want to start thinking about conversations that you've had with others where people have said, oh my goodness, Claudia, that's really helped me. You've got such a gift with that. Because if one person has that issue, if one person has that problem, very likely other people do too. And I think people tend to sometimes oversimplify things and think, oh, well, people don't really want or help with that, but they do. They do want help with that. Sometimes they want help with the simplest things or the easiest things that might even seem obvious to you, but aren't necessarily obvious to others. So that's what I would suggest there. All right, everyone, we are at the bottom of the hour now. I want to thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys, to serve you, to address your questions, to help you, to contribute to you. We'll be doing this again. We're going to move into something really unique in the month of December. I'm going to do some mini trainings. So what we've done, and Celine has done this, is she's done a survey with some suggestions of some topics that I'm going to be teaching in the month of December. And so instead of doing the study time or just open Q&A, I'm going to do some mini trainings on specific issues, self-image, manifesting money, attracting your soulmate, different things, different ideas. So we put out to the connections. You're very welcome, Michelle. We put out to the world, what would you love me to teach you on? Some mini trainings. We've got some feedback, and so we're going to accommodate and we're going to teach from those ideas. All right. So stick with me. Share this with others as well. I'd love to get more and more people on board. Looking forward to serving you guys. I wish you Americans, I wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving. Blessings to you all. Very grateful to be with you. And I'll see you again next week. We'll start a mini training sessions, powerful mini trainings. All right. I'll see you then. Bye-bye for now.